Oh, let's restart that. That's too funny. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome. BitmonkeyTV episode. I think I'm just gonna keep the numbers rolling now. So 39 yesterday, 40 today. Welcome to Tech Tip Tuesday. We didn't have these part of the number sequence, but today we are going to focus on just walking through Etherscan. Just kind of sharing my thoughts, my 2 cents. And if you have any questions, please do drop a note in the comments. If you are on YouTube, let me know, because for some reason I can only see one of the 2 chats. I gotta like toggle between the 2. But yeah, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. I hope everybody's doing good. Shout out to the 2 viewers for tuning in. Appreciate you. And then I'd love to know, I know we've been kind of keep that 1 to 2 minute length at the beginning, sometimes 5 minutes. Would you guys like to see like some type of countdown? Because I can create a new scene that once we're ready on this end, I can just do like a 30-second timer and it creates noises and whatnot. That way, if you're kind of like multitasking, you can come back to it. I'd love to know if that's something you guys would like to see. It'd be pretty easy to implement, so I'll be working on that. That new camera, right before this shuts out on me, because it's probably about to black out, arrives tomorrow. I don't know what time, so hopefully before that 4 p.m. / 7 p.m. Eastern stream for Whimsical Wing It Wednesdays. If not, I'll definitely come in hot on Thursday with the new camera. So I'm just gonna play with it, make sure we get this. Did it go again? It's gonna go any second, but I'll hit this button in ahead of time. That's the trick. I gotta just go tap the picture, and I can't get rid of that square. I know there's a square in the center. It is what it is. I'm grateful for the camera, so shout out Scott. Like, it's a great fucking camera. It's just continuous streaming. It needs to be tweaked a little bit, so I'm working on it. Yeah, let's cut over here and let's get straight to it. So I'm gonna cut open this monitor here, and I'm gonna give you guys the entire monitor. So just give me 1 second, because it's different. We normally do a window capture, but for this one I did set up another screen that you guys can't see that's out of this viewpoint, which is just going to allow us to kind of keep the chat window open, keep eyes on everything while we're streaming. So we just want to capture the whole display. There we go. So now you guys get a whole screen. Pretty sweet. There we go. Oh yeah, so I was going to use this as an example, but for those who are unaware, this was a project launched by, let's go see. Doesn't really talk about who specifically, but what's interesting about this is their Discord's live, Twitter's live. You can tell it's not a rug pull. This is just somebody trying to innovate, and they're creating what's called Sunflower, which is a new platform for generative art. So you don't really need to have too many pre-qualifications from what I understand. Like if you got in early enough on this, you could have helped generate some of these to my understanding, but these were free to mint. You just had to pay the gas. But I wanted to bring this up because it is a new project. Oh, but you know what? I wanted to show you guys mid-minting. So the first trick I want to show you, make sure we close anything. Give me 1 second. I want to pop open. Oh, is that full screen? Let's bring it back down. How you doing today, Gary? Thanks for tuning in, man. How's the weather over there? Because it's heated over here today. You know, I got all the windows closed, but I got that fan, so. Hey, there we go. Bam. So let's move that down. Right there. Bam. Now we can full screen it. Actually, I do want to pop open between tabs here. I think for the sake of showing you guys, we're going to go over to the meta hero generative identities. The reason I want to show you this one is this is the trick I use. And before I get started, yeah, man, good to hear. Good to hear. That's awesome. I hope you like these tips, and please feel free. So now I can keep the chat while I'm looking at the screen and talking to you. Just any questions you have, just drop a note. And let me see. Everyone's bearing with us on Tech Tip Tuesday, technical difficulties. What I'd like to do, because it's not showing here. Oh, it is there. Why isn't that chat? It's not that important, but I just want for people watching the recording, there should be a chat box right below, right here. No, right here. Right here. Let me know if you see it. I'm just gonna type in Discord. Oh yeah, it is there. So maybe it was just showing Gary's notes really quickly and hiding them, or that's weird. But we do see it. So ask away, anybody watching, I appreciate you. But this is a little trick that I use to try, you know, it's not always successful because you can't guarantee what number you're gonna get if somebody slides one in right before you. However, if you're aiming for a certain number and you know that number hasn't minted yet, right? If you go one way to tell, right, through OpenSea, which isn't the best way, because this, as you guys have learned, this graphic user interface is kind of buggy sometimes. But if you organize it by recently created, you can get an idea of, okay, so it shows 4360. The one way to know for sure is to go to Etherscan. The quickest route, like let's say you're navigating a project on OpenSea, you find the project, you find the NFT, you open it up just as we see here, right? Scroll down to details, and you'll see this contract address right here. Click it. It's a hyperlink. It's going to take you to Etherscan. What this is going to show you is it's going to show you that contract address, all transactions for that contract address, and what we want to go to here, and this is, so far, it's been the same across every contract with a token ID, right? So I haven't run into a case where I can't track it, but you want to go up here to the tracker. This one in this case is Hero Meta Hero. So it's Hero all caps. And we look here, these are all the transactions for that token ID. And same goes across any other project, right? So let's say we were to open up VeeFriends, but VeeFriends isn't real-time minting. You can go to the token ID and it's going to show you real-time the transactions of those tokens. So from here, what we can see, let me try to zoom this in for you guys, make this look better. I need to get that magnifier. I'll have to download a tool for that. I just zoomed in on the browser, but I know there's a little tool that I can just, you know, just snip it and then it'll magnify it for you guys. So I'll work on that. But as we can see, I'm gonna backtrack. So this is what it looks like when you click that contract address from the NFT under details, right? Then you want to go over here, you'll see two kind of like boxes at the top, right? Two sections, an overview, more info. Go to more info and go down to the tracker. Now this is where we see real time. Okay, look, the last one minted was 6 minutes ago. I will admit sometimes it just, I forgot to refresh my page, or maybe Etherscan there's something going on that day, but I was off by once because I just didn't refresh Etherscan. So if you're like, let's say you're going after mint 4361, well, it's available. The way to tell is this, everything you see here is done in chronological order. So latest, oldest, right? Latest up top, oldest at the bottom. As you can see, many pages, so you keep going last, we can get back to the first 20 some odd tokens that were minted here, right? And you can see the way to tell here, here's the big thing, is that entire line, make sure it's coming from a burn address. In most cases, it's a black hole. It's zeros all the way across. When it's coming from that address and going into a wallet, we know they have a minting engine built in, as well as this token ID. I haven't come across a project in a while that, like, as you mint, you get a different number. That's usually because everything's predefined, right? Those algorithms, everything's ran ahead of time for you to get that, to my knowledge, right? To my understanding. But I know that the MetaHero project is fully on chain, and it's generated at the time of the mint. So you need a minting engine in this case. I know there's some other projects that will have what's called a deployer address. So even though you go to that website and attach your wallet with MetaMask to that website to mint, sometimes you notice it doesn't come from a burn address. It'll come from a deployer address, right? And in that case, the contract now, since I am not fluent in Solidity, I am spitballing here. So take this all with a grain of salt. We good? Yeah, take this all with a grain of salt. Damn, that camera's gonna distract the shit out of me. First squirrel moment of the week. Backtrack. Oh yeah, we were talking about MetaHero, how it's generated at mint, and then deployer addresses. So sometimes, like, I can show you another contract that is actually still minting, and I do want to shout them out. They're using a deployer address, and you can see that anytime somebody mints, there'll generally be 2 lines for the same token ID. It'll show that token ID being minted to the deployer, and then the deployer automatically transferring it to the minter, right? So you actually don't mint it or create it. It's created by that holding address, so to speak, right? Now let's run it back to the first page, because I want to show you, it's not only going to show you the mints on this page, right? So on any given project, when you click the token ID and you get to this page, you're going to see all the transactions. We can see that these first 6 are chronological order, 4360. So if I wanted to go mint to mint pass right now, we would get 4361. Let's refresh the page to make sure. Yeah, I guess there's a big gap in time right here too. 10 minutes ago it was minted, before that 10 minutes, before that 8 minutes, before, you know, you can kind of see where the attention is too. And I'm sure some of this will correlate with gas fees, because you do have to pay a gas fee, but it was very minimal. But when you scroll down, you see sometimes it doesn't come from the black hole, right? It doesn't come from the burn address. And what that is, you can look here at the method, redeem, aka mint, right? Redeem. Atomic match means that's a transaction on a secondary marketplace. So you can go here and see what token ID that was. Now, when you click in, anytime you want to get more information on any given, you know, transaction, you don't necessarily want to click on who it's from or who it's to, or even the token ID for that matter. You want to go to the transaction hash right here. You want to click on this hyperlink. So let's go and take a look at this one without knowing, without checking OpenSea, okay? Because I have no idea if this was just transferred from one wallet to the next. Maybe it was purchased. Let's go find out. So in here, you will see the transaction hash. You don't need to take note of it, right? If you clicked on the right one, you're going to be in the right place. This is the block that it occurred on. Obviously success. It's a good thing to see, especially if we're seeing it on that list. It better be successful. And we can see here that it was traded for 6.5 Ethereum on OpenSea. So this was not a transfer. This was not a trade without ETH. This was a purchase on the secondary market. And they even show you everything you need here, right? Transaction action in this section. Shows you the token ID, it shows you the from, the to. Same thing we saw on that other page on that line. It's just instead of clicking those addresses on that line, we click the transaction hash, and that gives us all of the details, right? And depending on the contract, depending on the NFT, sometimes in logs will give you more information. Like a lot of the cases, the IPFS will be hidden, the hash will be hidden in there, or the Rweave hash will be hidden in there as well. And those are 2 different, for those who aren't aware, there are 2 methods for going on chain for life, right? So when you upload that media, it is there forever. doesn't require a server center, doesn't require anything at all, right? You are a part of that chain, the Arweave chain, the IPFS node. You can also create your own nodes too, right? If you didn't want to go to the method of, like, you can privately host things on IPFS and Arweave. I haven't played with it too much, but as I was experimenting, that is a possibility, right? So that's generally where you would find things, is in the transaction hash. A lot of shitty contracts, right? When you go to logs, they'll show a lot of the metadata in here. But as you can see here, we don't see any metadata. And I'm going to be honest. I mean, I can pick apart what this is saying, but as far as what it means, I can't give that answer, right? And let's take a moment to switch it on back. If you guys know any Solidity developers, preferably one full stack developer and another developer with a focus on Solidity, preferably fluent in Solidity programming language. We're hunting down two, that's probably not the right term, but we're looking for 2 new team members here at BitMonkey Studio, aka MonkeyBytes. So if you know anybody at all, and even if you don't think somebody would be the right fit, but you know they have knowledge, man, even something as simple as a phone call, you'd be surprised what word of mouth can do. So the more that I connect with people one-on-one, the more that I explain BitMonkey, MonkeyBytes in depth, the more people understand what we need, what we're looking for, and the more people are aware of the project overall. So yeah, it's some exciting stuff. So I will give you guys some sneak peeks. I don't know if I'm gonna make the official announcement this week, right? Because nothing's official, but within 1 week, community operations and 2 community managers, fingers crossed. Not to say we're done on that front, but it's a very promising week 1 after that announcement. I got to say I loved it. Reached out to G-Funk on the DMs, didn't hear back from him. Who else? I didn't reach out to Chris Wall yet. I reached out to Sergio's connection that he sent over, that he's done work, or that he's, hired out for graphic work. So did send a message though at the end of the weekend, and damn camera. one more day. You get to see my face glitch there for a second, so that's awesome. I'm sure this box is annoying as fuck right here. Oh, I went the wrong way. I'm gonna get that. But yeah, so if you're watching the recording after the fact, please, I encourage, hop in that Discord. Go to monkeybytes.io, scroll to the bottom, you'll see the Discord link. I also need to make sure that new page with the pop-up uploaded. I'll do that after this stream. But yeah, I just wanted to jump on over there really quickly since we started talking about Solidity. So let's go look into another project, just to feel more comfortable in there. And this is also, right, it's very, very useful to let's go take a look at Gary's personal. I say that in air quotes because I have a feeling he's got way more, but his personal wallet. So if you guys aren't aware, you can take any given wallet ID, copy it from OpenSea, go into a fresh tab of Etherscan.io and paste that right in there. Search in the block for that address. And right at the top, you're gonna see a similar viewpoint, right? As we saw when we clicked over the contract address. You're gonna see 2 sections. So obviously gonna look a little differently because we're primarily looking at a wallet. Shows that it's a 0.61 ETH balance. You click down on this token section, right? This is gonna show you the value of that balance estimated, and then the token section. This is gonna show you how much in wrapped ETH they have, which is generally used to make offers, or I believe if you're converting to Polygon. Can't remember if I had to wrap first to do that, but that could be why. And then so somebody's been sending this shit out to everybody. I got the same amount. But you can just get an idea of what they got without looking on OpenSea, right? Shows you, it'll categorize it by ERC20 tokens, ERC721s, The reason I wanted to show you this was not to show how much ETH he has in his wallet, right? And if you were to navigate this, you can probably see ins and outs of bulks of ETH, right, being transferred between his wallets. But there are some cases where up here, didn't log in there. Let's go to this one. Yeah, great example. So I did have some failed tokens, right? And this was that project I was mentioning earlier. Sometimes you'll notice a pending transaction in here. Sometimes it's just related to that plugin, right? A lot of the times it's not on chain, right? It could be your MetaMask plugin. So one way to confirm that that pending transaction or that failed transaction or whatever you're looking at through your plugin up here, through this wallet, one way to confirm, you go to that address, you search it, right? In this particular case, we're still searching his address. And then right here will show you if there's in date, you know, in chronological order. So at the very, very tip top of that page, right below those two sections, you're going to see something pending or failed or what have you. Now, in this particular case, like, let me actually go and pull up mine, right? None of them are pending any longer, right? But I have peace of mind knowing that if it were showing pending, that nothing's actually pending, right? So there's nothing blocking me from performing a transaction aside from something related to that plugin. Now for people, always proceed with your own caution, but there is a way to clear this list, all right? You wanna go up to your wallet and hit settings. You wanna go to advanced, and we want to reset your account. It tells you right here, resetting your account will clear your transaction history. This will not change the balances in your account or require you to re-enter your seed phrase. So we just go ahead and do that, and it'll clear those transactions. As you can see, my ETH is here. I will still see a lot of, obviously, all of my tokens because resetting your account through that method, like I said, it resets its connection with that application rather than clearing your wallet address. So I hope that was helpful. And yeah, I'd love to hear it. So I know we're gonna go look at another contract, but does all that make sense for the viewers tuning in live? I'd love to know. Do you have any particular questions? So there's one. What's another one mid-mint? Yeah. Cool. That's good to hear, man. It's good to hear. Yeah, that was the main trick I wanted to show on Etherscan. So we're going to walk through it again. All right, let's say you find your project. You know what? For shits and giggles, I know this doesn't really apply to VeeFriends as much, but let's see. Floor is down to 8.3. I'm shocked. I am shocked. People need to be more patient with Gary, I feel like, you know what I mean? Because that announcement today was fucking huge. Like, it obviously, maybe he let on more information, but that's also kind of like our expectations. Like, we expect there to be a ton of announcements, when really something like this, I mean, in my opinion, it's fucking huge for the longevity and the overall value of VeeFriends long term. So I think it was a brilliant move, and I can't wait to see starting at 0 what that auction goes to. And for those who are unaware, so I'm gonna take this moment in time to play a little video for you. If you guys don't know, we're big fans of Gary Vaynerchuk here. Some could say I started this podcast because of him, right? He didn't give me the push, something I had on the back of my mind, but after consuming so many years of his content, and this NFT project that launched this year, and another NFT project that launched that is currently going through some adjustments, named MonkeyBytes, is why I'm here. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'd be doing a disservice not showing you this video that I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So let me go ahead and show this to you. For anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, I know you, Gary. I know we're on the same page. he shared it. Can always go to CNN, but I know he retweeted somebody's.
How a few months ago NFTs and non-fungible.
All right, let's rewatch it. So if you haven't seen this yet, I wonder if I'm gonna get like copyright shit on YouTube after posting this. That's funny. Let's go ahead and watch this.
Tokens were all the rage. After all, we talked about them on this show on more than one occasion. After a bit of a summer lull, they are now back in the spotlight. The US Open tennis tournament launched its first NFT with entrepreneur and one of this market's pioneers, Gary. And there's more. He's about to auction some of his NFT artwork at the auction house Christie's. I'm pleased to say that Gary V, as he's commonly known here, is with me now. Gary, great to have you again on the show.
Thank you.
Let's talk about the exhibit that you coming up, this partnership with Christie's. What can we expect?
Well, you know, a lot of people forget that there's a lot of ways to use NFTs. They may eventually be tickets. They may be access to a restaurant. They may be many, many things, not just art. And my project, VeeFriends, was very unique because unlike most projects that are all made in digital art, I actually made them and drew them myself physically, then clamped them with PSA, and now I've teamed up with the most prestigious auction house in the world, Christie's, to auction off 5 original art pieces. So not the NFTs that a lot of my community is holding of the 5 characters, but the actual original art. And I think that that will inspire people to continue to be creative. There's so many ways to slice this.
And we're seeing some of that. I think I just saw a fly and a gorilla as we're looking. But explain to our viewers, Gary, you know, why partner with Christie's? I mean, is this you trying to target a new audience, you know, or is this trends that you have seen with, you know, the purchase of other NFTs?
Could you imagine telling somebody that doodled in high school and really liked it, but always thought of themselves as a businessman, that one day...
I should have kept mine. I should have kept mine.
I mean, my mother and father, Sasha and Tamara, watching this right now, they love Christie's. They always aspired and dreamed. They're immigrants to maybe buy something there. And now their son is selling art at Christie. Why? Because it elevates the brand. I have people who are watching right now that own the gorilla, own the tiger, own the You're Gonna Die fly. This is my Disney. This is my Pokemon. This is my character IP-based reality, and I'm going to build this for the next 40 to 50 years. And people underestimated this project in the OG NFT land, and this is another execution that is not going to allow them to underestimate it anymore.
And how much are we looking at? I mean, I remember reading that an NFT was recently sold at Christie's, something like $69 million. Do you think we'll start seeing more NFTs in kind of mainstream auction houses?
Yes, that I believe. Don't forget, this incredible auction from Christie's also has pure NFTs from the incredible project Art Blocks. It also has the first NFTs on Ethereum, Curio cards. I hope that more kids that actually like to draw do what I did and turn them into NFTs. I think we'll see more, but this is unique because this is actually art, right? This is physical paper. This is art. But the NFTs, I mean, the cheapest NFT right now in VeeFriends is about $75,000, $80,000 just for the NFT. This is the original kind of sell. If you look at the way Disney sell for, you know, look, I think it's going to be a pretty nice number. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, how much, Gary?
Yeah, like...
I really don't know. Actually, Christie's asked me to set pricing, and I said, start it at 0. I'm that confident that the market will understand what this is. So anything, it will make me happy because I know what I'm going to do to bring value to that over the next 5 decades.
Yeah, I think I should start using some of my kids' drawings. You know, I've got a 2 and a 5-year-old. Who knows? There might be a business there. Look, I don't know if I've got time, but let me ask you this. It's completely unrelated to your business. Okay. I want to get your thoughts on what we saw in the last 24 hours with Litecoin. What are your thoughts on that? What we saw?
Litecoin?
Yeah, so we saw the dumper schemes, the pump and dump schemes. Do you remember with Walmart?
Why
would you
can't even explain to you how little focus I have on
like rewatching it again. I realized like what
arena in this world, and
clearly that was not her question.
I apologize, but I don't have a great take. I don't like to talk about things when I don't know.
You are a true professional.
She pulls it up. That's funny.
Stick with your business. Fantastic. Well, Gary, let us know how you do. How much it sells for. Great to have you on the show, Gary V. Everyone. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much.
Well, this is that was good timing right there. Bam! We We should be back. We're back. So, yeah. And they're rolling to the next headline. They wanted to talk about it. Yeah. So, I was just shocked by that. I was like, wait. And then I felt like that was disrespectful to the NFT community. Not the interview, not that. Just their little title at the top. Let me go back. They called it, I get it, can be defined as a craze, but they put craze right here. I don't like that word. I feel like, now maybe this is just me being, I don't think I'm a negative person, right? But it's like they could have picked a better word, maybe even non-fungible token, you know, like actually define it for the masses who have no idea what it means. Now they're going to define NFT with craze, right? Like that mental correlation of NFT craze. That's all it's going to be. It's going to be a craze. That's it. I don't know. I just noticed that after rewatching it for like the 4th or 5th time. And, you know, they see things from a certain perspective. So I wouldn't have called it a craze though. That's for damn sure. I'm so mad I was going to get the fly, but talk about this. Yeah, man. I was going to get a lot of others too. Like, I just feel like these 5 characters he picked aren't his top dogs. You would think they would be, right? Because if they were, we'd have the astronaut on there. We'd have the very, very lucky black cat. Unless he's planning different auctions. I don't know. I feel like he just hasn't gotten to that one yet. You know what I mean? Maybe he picked You're Gonna Die Fly because that is something he says a lot, you know? Yeah. Oh yeah, you're talking about the one when he's in that Uber, he's in the back seat, and some lady wants to take a selfie real quick or answer one question for my audience or something. You're gonna fucking die. Yep. I remember that one. I love that one. I have to remind myself, oh, give me 3 words. Give 3 words for my audience or 3 words for my community or something, right? Yeah, it's coming back to me. I might have to play that just for shits and giggles now. But I really, really love that one. It reminds me of something I read in a Marcus Aurelius memoir. I forget what they titled this. Meditations or something. And memento mori. I'm probably butchering that saying. But it just reminds me. Now, I'm going to paraphrase a bit, but this is my kind of definition of that phrase. You got one life. You know what I mean? Right when I look into the damn camera. I love it. You got one life. Like at any given moment, tomorrow's not promised. We might not wake up tomorrow. An airplane could fall from the sky. And you know, like there's so many what ifs that as long as you do everything instead of putting it off, right? Do everything that's meant to be for tomorrow today, kind of like thing, right? There are, now, don't get me wrong, there are some situations where, let's say you have a roadmap to follow, and practically thinking you can only execute certain things in a certain, you know, time frame. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that person you thought about reaching out to say I'm sorry, or that person you meant to reach out to say I love you. I miss you, you know, things like that. So it's a reminder to me to never let things go unspoken, right? I'm not married yet, don't have a family yet, but one thing I'm going to vow to do with my wife is to never go to bed angry with one another. That just fucking, I mean, like I said, I'm not in that realm right now, right? So I don't have too much experience in that, but it's just perspective. Going back to the chat, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna play this video. Thanks for showing the link. I don't have to go pull that up. But yeah, it just reminds me of Marcus Aurelius and that memento mori. So we got one fucking life. Remember that. We're all gonna die. What are you gonna do with your time here? That's the question.
Gary Vee! 3 words to give me inspiration for any day I'm feeling down.
3 words.
3 words.
You're gonna die. Yeah, that's inspiration.
Do something about it.
Do something about it.
Fucking love you.
I love you too. Take care.
Oh, here I am. You just got to see my face smile and laugh. Let's cut it on over. That's too funny. Cut it on back. All right. Thank you, Gary.
Gary Vee! Three words to give me inspiration for any day I'm feeling down.
3 words.
3 words.
You're gonna die. Yeah, that's inspiration.
Do something about it.
Do something about it.
Fucking love you.
I love you too. Take care. Ready?
Hold on a sec. That can't be her.
3 words to give me inspiration for any day I'm feeling down.
3 words.
3 words.
You're gonna die. Yeah, that's inspiration.
Do something about it.
Do something about it.
Fucking love you.
I love you too. Take care.
Huh. Kind of reminds me of an old friend, Lauren. Almost.
Ready?
But I know she don't live out there, so could just be a doppelganger.
Life's getting weird.
Do something about it. Yeah. And I should correct myself. It's not you're gonna fucking die. It's you're gonna die. You know? Yeah, man. What else? Tech Tip Tuesday. Tech Tip Tuesday. I know that was a brief overview, and it was very focused on one thing. Let me zoom back out here. But like, if you guys are ever curious, right, you can get an idea, and I have a feeling I should share this, so I'm gonna go ahead and share it. CryptoSlam.io. If you're unaware of it, what it does is it'll track sales on the NFT marketplace. I know it tracks some other things, but a lot of its attention is your NFT collection, right? To my knowledge, they don't automatically pull new projects. You have to submit your project in, and they usually do it within about, like, depending on how busy they are, anywhere from a week to 3 weeks. For MonkeyBytes, I think it only took them like 2 weeks to throw it on here, but our project was never really intended to track sales in that manner, right? The highest sale ever, the economics were different, so it wasn't really a priority here. But best believe MonkeyBytes Miners DAO, it's gonna go on here because I have a feeling it's gonna be creeping up to the top 7. We'll just put it that. I don't want to be top 1, top 2, top 3, top 7. It's a good number. But the market is the market at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But if you're unaware of this tool, you can just kind of scroll down here, and off to the right, you see top sales in the past 24 hours. This Fidenza, CryptoPunk, Emblem Vaults, and you can also see what platform. So these little icons show you that's OpenSea. This is CryptoPunk's platform. OpenSea, and like when you see an NBA Top Shot or Axie. Actually, it is Axie. I know Axie has their own marketplace. Yeah, right here. Axie Marketplace. I wanted to give you a visual example. NBA, I guess Top Shots have not been selling much, eh? Or just not on the top of the list. Yeah, I hope she is at VCon too, Gary. I feel like whether or not she purchased a VeeFriend, should be. Gary needs to track her down and send her a go. You know what I mean? Let's see. Damn, this one sold for 19. Why did this sell for 19? Oh, it must be a hero. Let's go back to VeeFriends. Oh yeah, that clear X-ray brain, that would make sense. I'm just kind of going here just to show you guys here. So if it's a hero, there we go, type, scroll all the way down, hero, villain. So there's generally only 2 types. I thought there was a mutant type, but I guess I was up late that night. It's under identity, mutant. There's only 54 mutants so far, so mutants are by far the ones you want. But then heroes versus villains. there's a big split. You know what I mean? So I feel like heroes are the more sought after. Now, what that means as far as in-game utility, I have a feeling it's probably been touched on briefly, but we don't know for sure. What we can generally do is go check the highest last sale. And that must have been a villain. This one sold for 20. Yeah, I guess the naked ones are the ones without too many attachments, right? Properties. They're very valuable. Yeah, I guess that wasn't, unless, let's go back to villain. Yeah, this mutant sold day 1. Yeah, look at that. So, here's the one. This person knew what they wanted. No name. So it's a villain. The dreadlocks, oh. So, you actually taught us this, Gary. So shout out. The background. It's a very rare planet, Pluto. Less than 1% come from this planet so far. So that would make sense. What's the floor at? Yeah, so that was an underpriced. That was just underpriced. I mean, based off of what's listed, right? The floor is at 34. So that was a smart pull by whoever that is. Good shit. Good shit. And what's another one? I don't want to shout this project out because I think it was a rug pull, but I know they didn't finish minting. Nah, I probably shouldn't pull that one out. I just don't want anybody to come back and, well, you displayed this on your BitmonkeyTV, blah, 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 blah. Like, come on. Come on, people. Yeah, I don't know. Unless you want to see something specific, I feel like that was just a good clip today. You know, I'm shocked I streamed for as long as I did, so shout out, Gary. Thanks for keeping the ball rolling. I probably would have ended this right after that Etherscan part, so without showing those videos. So grateful to have you here and everybody else watching now and in the future. Appreciate you. Yeah, I think we're gonna call it a day. So a few reminders. If you're unaware, we are loaning out 5 Moral Monkeys every year for the next 3 years. In addition to that, we are going to be purchasing the round trip airfare and hotel expenses. Little teaser, it's not a hotel, it's going to be an Airbnb. I already rented an Airbnb for the contestants from the 19th to the 23rd. I rented it day 1 of the announcement, and it's got a hot tub and a pool table. I didn't see the pool table on the pictures, but the reviews are through the roof. I did message him because I made a mistake and only put 1 guest, and I was like, hey, the price isn't going to change when we bump this up to 5 guests, will it? And he's like, no, we just assumed you just didn't put all the guests in there. So damn it. But yeah, the house is taken care of. The reason the flights haven't been purchased yet is obviously the winners haven't been selected. So go visit moralmonkeymob.com. The application window is open through November 7th, at which point in time we're going to, the timelines in between each round are yet to be determined, but there's only going to be 55 people who advance to round 2. Just know rounds 2 through rounds 4 and 5 are very community driven, paying attention to detail and keeping an eye out on what's going on, right? It's got a lot of different ideas I've been lacing together for that contest, and it puts a smile on my face just thinking about it, because look at the floor. I mean, the floor is, I know we just looked at it, 18 Ethereum at its current, and I'm undercutting at 3100. I know it's 3250 or something. 55,000 just to attend, and that's now at this point in time, right? And that's assuming you don't have ETH. That's assuming you have to convert that fiat. That is not an easy thing to accomplish, and it's only going to become more and more out of reach. So I just love the fact I launched what I did when I did. I haven't had a change of heart. I haven't had a change of thought, anything like that. I have been so stoked. If anything, as time progresses, time and my patience has reaffirmed me that it is the right decision, because it's just going to be changing 15 lives ultimately is what it's going to be doing. So I'm just so excited. I'm so excited for that. And yeah, that's all on that note. Squirrel. Half squirrel moment there, man. I'm doing pretty good. I feel like I squirrel more with Scott or with like a co-host because we get distracted, right? We get to talking, something comes up. We have to like, you know, steer away a little bit. Can the same person year 1 go again year 2 or year 3? So I haven't made that decision yet, honestly. This is the first time anybody's asked it. I have had the thought because I knew something like this would be asked. I want to say no, but I'm most likely going to leave it up to the community. You know what I mean? It's going to be a community driven challenge. It's not going to be like some others where it's just for the likes. If you spam, you know, if you get an X amount of, no, that's it's hard to track and it's hard to know who authentically won. You know what I mean? Like anybody can make a couple of posts and push for likes. It doesn't necessarily mean that person's most deserving, right? Or maybe they are. Maybe it's maybe one of the rounds could be, you know, a networking challenge, and shit, that type of move would be well deserving, right? But man, you have me thinking here. I'm like thinking on air, so this is gonna be good for anybody watching back. At this moment, no. I'm gonna say no because that takes away from more people, right? Getting that opportunity, right? Because year 2 and year 3, what's the floor of VeeFriends going to be at, right? Year 1 entry point could come upwards of $250,000. What's year 2 going to be? Is it going to be $500,000? Is it going to be $1 million? You know what I mean? Like, I say it that way because getting to year 2 and year 3 contest windows, let's say the floor is through the roof, right? I'm optimistic it will be, but nobody knows for sure. It's like Gary says, it's like everybody should understand the market is the market. But I feel like it's the best bet to just one and done, right? If you win it, you can't win it again. But I'll provide more clarity on that. I'm gonna have to think about that one because that's a good question. Thanks for asking that. You still have me thinking about that, man. Let me cut back. I don't need to be looking at that screen anymore. Unless, fuck, who knows? Maybe some people end up joining the BitMonkey team from this. You know what I mean? Like, you never know what's going to happen in the future, right? You can improve the odds for something to happen in your favor, but you just never know. So the connections that we make, maybe one of the contestants ends up becoming a team member, and then I loan them a different, you know, token. And in that case, of course, that person would not be disqualified. But I think it's best, you know, I think it's best to say no out the gate on that because 15 people is 15 people. It's not 12 people. It's not 13 people, right? With one person getting back-to-back years. But yeah, Gary, so I'm going to give a little spoiler. I've had a few people ask me why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. That's part of the reason, right? We get to vet, you know, people and see who's practicing what they're preaching. And then from there, you know, if you have a judge on somebody's character from that perspective, and then it's a good fit, you know, in a work environment or on a project, like imagine the progress you make compared to somebody who you're unaware of, right? Somebody who doesn't practice what they preach, but they'll say one thing and then do the opposite. This gives that time to really see that. So yeah, fuck yeah. All the contestants are going to have, I haven't announced it officially yet, but there's going to be opportunity to join the team. Best believe it. Best believe it, without a doubt. So if you know any creatives or developers who are priced out of VeeFriends, fuck, that's kind of like squirrel, you know, even though it wasn't the you know, the usual type of squirrel, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Because the one thing going on in my head is I don't want to say too much before it's all announced. You know what I mean? But yes, I love it. I love it too, man. I love that you love it too. Need to do a little more shilling more on Monkey Mob and the NFT channels. Yes, I couldn't agree more. This weekend I really took one last weekend. I wouldn't say I disconnected at all. I'm actually finding something interesting, and I don't know if I've shared it with you before, so I'm going to share it now. My religious perspective of disconnecting on Saturdays, it's not there anymore. You know, I don't feel, it's not resonating with me anymore. And I figured it out. I figured it out this weekend. It's because I'm doing shit I love. I'm doing things I enjoy to do. At the end of the day, like, yes, there's those few little IT commitments that are still going through the end of this month, but I have never felt so free in my life as I do this year. You know what I mean? And I know I say that a lot, like, you know what I mean? You haven't known me since before then, and most of you haven't, right? Who are gonna watch this on the recording, but I realize, like, I don't need to take that time away from tech because I enjoy everything I'm doing with tech, rather than beating your head against the wall, right? With something, like in my case, IT. Don't get me wrong. I got to where I am by being skilled, but do I enjoy it? That's very little, if any, anymore. And you just got to follow your passion. Follow what's pulling you in a different direction, right? And I know there's so many unique situations, as you guys have learned. I don't got a wife and kids yet, right? I don't got that type of family. I don't have people who depend on me in that sense. Little humans. I had a dog for 12 years. She changed my life. But I don't have that. So I want to be sympathetic and empathetic. I guess I could have used just the same word. To other situations, right? Where you don't have that luxury. So, that luxury of time. Ah, shit. Ultimate squirrel moment at the end of this because I keep repressing this button. But yes. So on that note, I babbled on. That was for sure a squirrel moment. I have formulated just, a nice new little routine as far as daily, weekly, and on that list, 2 to 3 days a week are pushing and engaging with the Moral Monkey Mob initiative. It should be an everyday thing. As you guys have learned, I fell off track a little bit. Yeah, right? So I just needed to readjust, right? Doing everything yourself can only last for so long. So as you guys have noticed with the announcements, already make great progress on the community front. Now it's a matter of creatives and developers, which arguably are the most important part. But at the end of the day, every single piece is important. So I don't want to overlook each step and each person. And I think we're taking the right approach, right? I am not spamming on Freelancer or Fiverr yet. However, if there comes to a point where we need to do that, piece together this work, we'll do that. But things are moving along very nicely this week one of that announcement, and I'm excited. I'm excited to share more. I'm excited to make some more announcements as far as who's joining the team. And please, I encourage you, if you're watching this live or watching the recording, any Solidity experience whatsoever, just send them my way or just give me their username on IG or Twitter. I'm Bitmonkey Studio across both. I'll DM them directly. We're at that phase where I'd like to talk to as many developers as possible. More so for them to gain an understanding of our project and what we're trying to accomplish, to see if they'd be a good fit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think I'm going to end it there. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to check out MonkeyBytes.io, MoralMonkeyMob.com. Go ahead and check out VeeFriends.com while you're at it. You have links to both of those Discords at those websites. And yeah, more coming soon. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow with whimsical Wing It Wednesdays here on BitmonkeyTV. My name is Marcelo. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day.